Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we are literally just days away from the end of Donald Trump's hush money trial. We could end up with a jury verdict this week. Obviously, on Tuesday, we do have the closing arguments from both the prosecution and the defense. And it's going to be interesting to see because immediately following those closing statements, the judge could go ahead and give jury instructions and start deliberations, or the judge may say, we'll call it a day for now, come back tomorrow morning for jury instructions. But either way, we could have a verdict this week. We'd have a verdict 48 hours from now. So that's a big deal. This trial is at the finish line, and we're about to see who comes out on top. But even before we get to that point, late last week, Donald Trump suffered not one, but two massive legal blows with regard to this case. And they weren't legal blows, of course, from Judge Juan Merchan. They were legal blows from the appellate division in New York. They issued two rulings last week, slapping down two separate motions filed by Donald Trump. The first motion, of course, was his request that the appellate court remove the trial from Manhattan because Manhattan hates Donald Trump, and they gave him a list of other more Trump-friendly venues that they could move it to. And to that request, the appellate court said, upon reading and filing the papers with respect to the motion and due deliberation having been had thereon, it is ordered that the motion is denied. Like, that's it. That is their ruling. They're like, so we looked at it, we talked about it, and we all decided it was pretty stupid, so we're not going to do that. I mean, they said it a little more politely than I did, but that is also the gist of the ruling. Like, well, we saw what you said, we just don't care. So, no. That's the first loss Donald Trump suffered. The second one was related to a, Article 78 lawsuit that he filed against Judge Juan Merchan in order to get Judge Merchan recused from the case. Like, I don't want this judge there, so I'm filing this lawsuit technically against him. And the appellate division on that one said, the petition was also filed prior to the court's subsequent order denying his second motion seeking recusal, and thus any challenge to the subsequent order was not ripe at the time of filing. In any event, petitioner has failed to establish that the court acted in excess of its jurisdiction by denying his motion. He has not established that he has a clear right to recusal. So, motion is denied. Womp womp, right? You're not going to move the trial, and you're not going to get the judge kicked off the case. And the reason, obviously, this is such a big deal is because, as I had previously said, we're at the finish line. If the appellate division had actually gone with either of these Trump motions, automatic mistrial. So everything that had happened up to this point would be erased. Instead, the trial would be moved to a new venue with a new judge, and we'd start all over again. And at that point, Donald Trump and his legal team would know, okay, we made a lot of mistakes in that last one, and we're getting a mulligan here, so let's not do that again. And then they could present a better defense. And the appellate court also knows that, because they ruled on these two motions after both the prosecution and the defense had rested last week, like several days after it. So coming in and granting either of these motions would have thrown that entire trial in the trash. So we would have had to start over from the beginning, possibly months from now. And the appellate court said, nope. So we will get our resolution this week and pretty much guarantee that Donald Trump's going to appeal at least a portion of it once that decision comes down. But either way, the trial that has happened, that is about to conclude, is not going to be scrapped and thrown in the trash. At least not yet. And considering the fact that this appellate division doesn't seem to be overly fond of Donald Trump, when he eventually appeals a possible conviction to them, he's already not looking so great. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Farron Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.